Hi everyone, look who's here.
Hello.
We are together in Courtenay, British Columbia.
Yes.
And where did we come from?
Where did we come from?
Where did you come from?
Today? Or no,
No,
when we arrived. So
yeah.
we were in Washington near the North Cascades National Park. We were kind of exploring and hiking and paddling.
Getting closer and closer and closer to visiting.
That's right. Before that, we were in Colorado.
So
you were tracking us.
Oh, yes, I've been tracking you. Not stalking.
No, tracking.
Tracking.
Not stalking.
Yes, stalking's bad.
That's right.
Tracking is good.
Tracking is okay.
So for those of you who do not recognize me, I'm Alison Van Schie, and here we have
Theresa Wilbanks.
And we were the co-hosts of the Self-Caregiving Strategies podcast.
That's right.
And a few other things we've done together as well.
We have.
But that's where you may know us from. And we're just wanting to share what's been happening since the podcast wrapped up in 2023. It wrapped up in February of 2023, and it was a hit.
It was. It's still being downloaded. And we're excited that it's still helping caregivers, and we still hear folks who have listened and they've appreciated it. So that's fantastic, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
that's what we set out for. We
Absolutely.
hoped it would help.
Yeah, it's timeless.
Yeah. So if you haven't yet listened to the podcast, please do. There are 12 sustainable caregiving strategies that we called the Self-Caregiving Strategies, but originally they were Theresa's Sustainable Caregiving Strategies. So they're really helpful for caregivers who may be struggling through caregiving and maybe not taking the care they need to themselves, of themselves. So a very valuable podcast.
Yeah, a good resource. Check it out and please share it.
Yeah. There's lots in there. So what have you been doing since February of 2023?
Seems like so long ago, but when you say that, it's not. It wasn't that long ago.
I know.
Let's see. Since then, I think, Dad passed in 2020, and Joe is remarking, my husband Joe, that it really does take time to kind of figure out what you're going to do. We cared for him for 7 years, and we were able to, in the first few years, able to travel and keep doing some of the things that we loved, but we really weren't able to kind of continue our life the way we had. And I think that's what we've been doing, the way that we envisioned, for our future. So we've been traveling and exploring and setting ourselves up so that we can continue to do that and work. And while I'm still doing a lot with sustainable caregiving, last year I was able to speak frequently virtually and in person in Spokane, Washington once, or keynote presentation. So that took up a good bit of last year. And then I started a company called Wandering Digital Media. And so I started working with other folks who do work like we do. So they're supporting family caregivers, but I was helping them build their business and helping them with graphic design and web design and some of the behind the scenes stuff that I was able to do when I set up sustainable caregiving and then help them with as they grew their business. So that's kind of what we've been doing, is traveling and doing that. And I just want to mention, this is the first time Alison and I have met in person. So
we did try last year.
We did try. Yeah, when I was in Spokane, but it just didn't work out.
Nope.
And so we have been friends and colleagues and just worked on projects together. And this is pretty exciting that we're together.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're pinching each other and we're getting bruises. But while we're here, we're not just getting bruised. We've been doing some fun things while you've been here.
Yes, we have.
So we went out on the water together yesterday. And what's really interesting? We found some major coincidental commonalities that we have. So Theresa pulled up and she's got a tandem kayak that she brought with her. Guess who has a tandem kayak?
And not just any tandem kayak, the same tandem kayak, just in a different color. And ironically, it's the color that I wish we had, and we have the color that
I would have preferred.
That they have. So what are the odds? I don't know how with all of our conversations, because this project was pretty intense and for several months. So we would work together and get together and talk on Zoom and do the project. But we also had so many conversations just to get to know each other.
I called them therapy sessions.
Yeah, they were therapy sessions for sure. But I didn't know you had a tandem kayak, or if I did, I forgot it.
No, I probably never mentioned. I'm sure I would have mentioned we did kayak, because you would mention you would paddle on
Right.
your paddleboard.
We were paddleboarding.
And you would
more
say
than-
you went out paddling, and I said, well, we went out paddling too, but our paddling is different. Our paddling is on a kayak or with a kayak.
That's right. And
yours
at
is
the
on a
time,
stand-up paddleboard,
we
which I
had-
was impressed by.
and we had individual kayaks, and I just didn't connect it, I guess. And so now we have the same.
Yeah, and because Theresa is so skilled at stand-up paddleboarding, guess who had to learn how to do that? I learned an old person could learn a new trick, and yeah, I'm still learning, but it's a lot of fun, and it's because of you that I really wanted to master it.
Oh, I did not
So,
know that. That's what
yeah.
inspired.
Oh
it.
yeah, because you would go out in Florida and see some amazing things, and we see some pretty good things out here as well. We see the porpoises, and we've when we've been in our kayak, there has been an orca at the same time, but I don't think I could be on a stand-up paddleboard and see an orca, and yet other people do. But yeah,
That would be amazing, but it would be a little terrifying.
for me, I would be sitting or laying flat
Yeah.
and going back to shore as soon as I could, or as quickly as I could. But yeah.
Well, next time we'll have to paddleboard together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the conditions have not been that great on the ocean for stand-up paddleboarding, but
Yeah. Well, do you remember when we were doing the podcast, we said that when we met, we would do a hike together.
yes,
And we did.
we did.
Yep.
So that's another thing we did since you've
Mhm.
been here.
We did.
A lovely hike.
I know. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a beautiful area. So
Yeah.
I give to meet you in person. Meet your husband.
Yeah.
And Mark and Joe are getting along.
They are. The
famously.
husbands are getting along well.
They really are.
They're leaving us alone right now so that we can talk and
Mm-hmm.
just enjoy a cup of tea and,
Yeah.
and be with you all.
Yes.
And that's you all because Theresa says that.
Oh, I do. Do I?
Sometimes.
I probably do. Yeah. that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to?
So I just continue doing what I was doing before, a lot of podcasting, on the Island Treasures podcast. And it's going strong, it's going well. I've had amazing guests.
Yes, you have.
I've had a couple of return guests, and you were my first return guest
Oh,
on the Island Treasures podcast. Yeah,
Mhm.
but look what that evolved into.
No kidding.
So I continue to do the podcasting. I still do support groups. I was involved in a panel discussion, and I just I have been doing community events, and I'm trying to scale back a little bit. But after spending these few days with Theresa, I'm inspired again, and I think I'm going to be tired again, and then I'll say I need to scale back again.
Yeah, well, that's
But-
how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I still work with caregivers, and that's really important, and I
Yeah. I think we always will.
I
You
think
know,
it's in there.
Even if it's not as intense as it has been in the past, I think that, I feel like caregivers find us when they need us. And they'll find our podcast, they'll find you, they'll find me. And so I think we'll always, how can we not?
Well, we are passionate about that, so
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and like I said, trying to scale back a wee little bit and trying to convince myself it is time to retire. And then I have that other voice that says, no, it's not, no, it's not. And like I said, I am inspired by what Theresa's been teaching me and sharing with me these past few days. So
Aw.
who knows what's on the horizon for me.
Yeah. And I haven't taken off the table a project that we work on together in the future. So I don't have anything in mind.
Ooh.
We could do, I'm not even going to say because we'll just keep it open.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Well, it was really fun to work with you on the Self-Caregiving Strategies podcast.
It's
And
amazing.
when we stopped, it was like, I need to talk to Theresa. So we actually continued almost, I don't know if they were bi-weekly to start with and then monthly, just calls, just to keep,
chats.
catch up with each other
Yeah.
and vent
Sure.
about stuff.
And anything. Eventing is so important. It's
Yeah.
one of the strategies, and we
One
definitely
of the strategies.
Yeah, we used it when we were with each other, and we know that there are times that it's helpful and times it may not be helpful, but it was really helpful to share with you because I felt validated. I felt better afterwards. So all the things you want to look out for when you're venting to make sure that it's helpful and not harmful, but
And I hope you felt safe.
always safe.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
Very confidential when you talk to me.
And what's pretty cool is we know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
We certainly learned some things in the last few days, and we've also learned we have so much in common. We knew we did, but even more than we thought.
So let's see,
Yeah.
what's another thing that we had in common? There were 3 very definite things that I think are escaping us now.
Well, the word I don't want to use that comes to mind is stubborn, because that's not the positive side of it. But the positive side of it is we're sort of tenacious in terms of we want to get things right. You know, we're going to work at something until it's how we want it and how we think it should be. I think that's something our husbands agree that we have in common, which can be frustrating to them at times, but overall I think it's a positive thing. That's why I didn't want to start with stubborn. But that it's part of it. It's certainly part of it. So
we like to see things through, like not just start them. So we're very happy that we did have a project that we could finish, but now apparently there's maybe going to be something else in the works.
Yeah, you never know.
Who knows?
I know. Yeah, so what do you have on the horizon that you can think of right now, that like how you want to spend your time and your focus?
Well, I want to learn a little bit more about some social media stuff. I want to take some courses. I think through LinkedIn I'm going to do it. And so that's my next focus. I did learn some things that Theresa taught me about more editing for video, because I really enjoy putting videos together, and it's kind of like a hobby, and I might take that into retirement. And who knew that I would learn that? And I love Canva, and I love being creative, and we've really enjoyed playing with Canva.
Yes, I learned something from Alison.
Yeah, I actually have been playing a lot and found out some really neat things. So
yeah, and I'm obsessed with Canva. So, and I definitely know that I don't know everything there is to know, because they keep adding to it. It's so wonderful. But it was so fun. Alison shared something that she had used, and I'm like, how did you do that? I'll show you. And I had used that technique, but not in that way. It was like, wow, this is fun. So
and I made that for a birthday card. I used this technique on a birthday card that I'm sending. It's a birthday video, actually, that I'm sending to my niece. So can't share too much information, but it is really fun. And I'm sure she'll love it.
Yeah, she's going to love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this has been lovely catching up, and I can't thank you enough for coming.
Oh, I am so glad we were able to
coming across the border into Canada.
Yes, it was pretty easy.
That's good.
Yeah, it went really well. I had some fun with the customs person, and he was lovely. So yeah, smooth. Although our passports expire August 18th, so we must be gone by then. So we're not staying.
That's an interesting way of coming to visit someone, having a end date on your passport that you have to leave by.
Yeah. Well, we didn't realize it until we pulled them out to look at them, and fortunately we were able to come into Canada with only a month left on the passport. We couldn't have gone to many countries with that.
No.
Yeah, with that almost expired passport. So yeah, I'm very fortunate. We're just happy to be here and so happy to spend time with you. It's been very special.
Yeah, thank you. It has been special for me too. So check your expiry dates on your passports if you're likely to be traveling anytime soon.
Yes.
And that's it for now. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.